Hello and welcome back to Rolex Play, where we roll dice and play games. This is our day campaign, Tuesday campaign, Threads of Chaos. You've joined us for session 22, and we almost have a full house today. The only one missing is Marie. But we're just going to dive straight into it with a little bit of a recap. The party have had some time to prepare and have their own downtime. They've had a week span of time where they've had the resources of Aiden Hassar, the rest of the people who work underneath his kind of control, and as well the city itself. They have their own kind of party to interact with and go about as they see fit. So, as we will go through your downtime activities, if you could just give us a little overview of what ends up happening. So, we'll start off with Cal.
Oh, right. Okay, I was not prepared to go first, but that's okay.
Classic
So,
D&D.
For Cal, Cal spent a lot of time training with Richter. He learned how to implement the elements into his fighting style and got some of the basics taught to him. He also spent a lot of time investigating the stuff that is going on with his egg that he found in the forest. He met a florist who was weirdly up to helping him. Very enthusiastic about helping him. Who he showed the egg to and who was like, oh yeah, I can ask around and find information about that. So something might turn up from that. And then he went camping with two of the other party members from the
Life's Echo.
Life's Echo. I knew it was life, I just forgot the second word. And also with Mercedes, since she agreed to go with him off screen. And they spent a lot of time in nature, a few nights, where, yeah, they just sort of got along. Cal found out that the weird bird guy has a weird shadow guy that follows him around and doesn't interact. It was great. He tried to befriend it and it didn't work. And he also used a magic item that he has to contact his brother. Because he received ominous warnings from a fortune teller that his brother might be involved with with the demon guys. So he was like, hey, are you dealing with demons? And his brother was like, no, what the fuck? And yeah, that was basically the conversation. There was a lot more to it, but it was the whole thing. What other important things did he do?
And a note for the egg thing that you have. It has changed slightly. It's no longer this like jelly bean. It's more of like
it's a raisin now.
It's a raisin.
It's dried up essentially, and also like pudgy, so you can squish it now, which is not great.
Yeah,
kind of disgusting.
Yeah, it's like one of those slimes.
Like, yeah, and Janet, my dragon, got close to it, and the thing reacted by trying to reach out for it. So, it was great.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah, so there's consciousness in there.
Cal goes on a fucking weird ride during his 7 days, doing about nearly everything possible under the sun, as Cal does.
Yeah.
Excellent. We'll move on to, let's do Ilya next. So, Ilya, what did Axon get up to?
Well, he spent also his time, like some of his time with training with Richter, and though learning some different methods, and yeah. As well, he spent a lot of time gathering the information for like upon our further or like future targets, and basically demons. Got some interesting lore bits about them. As well, like found out that we encountered already one of them when we traveled through the garden area within that Lake Hand Keep. It was one of the high-ranked demons, which we luckily avoided. And then, like in some free time, got maybe a bit closer to Kirill Shazad. And as well as I identified my magical items which I got in possession, also got outside and contacted the local authorities about the Smiley guy who he encountered inside that Calypsicon, was it? Yeah, Calypsicon. He like warned them about him that he might be contagious and spread some diseases, but just like so they would be aware of him. As well as helped to resolve some small like crime of the theft, I believe.
Mhm.
And just like at whatever, probably last days of the week, he finished the 4 normal or like small healing potions.
Very good. A very concise, very effective use of downtime. Got a bit of everything, made some connections. I'm sorry, Leone.
And as well, he got smarter by like going into library. So do that more
Nice.
often.
Big brain plays. Excellent. We move on to Brooke. Brooke, what did Helen get up to during their downtime activities?
Helen in the morning sort of been basically going down to the basement, setting up all the potions so that they can brew over the day, and then spending the afternoons kind of viciously training specifically kind of sword skills with Krill. Like just full tilt, like no like thinking, no like holds barred, just
Yeah.
really trying to improve.
And he's one of these people that will push you as a teacher. He
Mm.
holds restraint, but when you want it full pelt, you would see how vicious he can be, especially with his blades and teleporting between and around you, where you're having to almost like predict where he's going to strike next. Yeah, he's ruthless. But carry on.
She would have also just kind of sussed out what books they have there, because obviously she's pretty well read, but would spend some time kind of, if they have any kind of rare or odd books and stories, kind of studying. So it's very much everyone's like flitting in and out, and like Helen sat down with a book, you come back 5 hours later, Helen is sat down with the same book. Just like really knuckling down, trying to fill her brain now that we have access to this gorgeous library.
Very good. Okay. And alongside that, you are able to brew some potions as well, some specialty potions for you and your troop, which we may see later down the road at some point. Very good. Then we'll move on to Arne. Arne, what does Ulrin get up to for his downtime?
Yeah, after our first encounter with demons and pretty much running straight away, Orin decided we are very underprepared, and Odin tried to fix that by immersing himself in his craft, trying to get advice, teachings, and whatever from the figures of Calypsicon that meddle in those crafts and arts. He would also go around trying to dig up information on demons from Pluran Leviathan, as well as Coral and also Hussar. Then at some point, Orin would try to seek out the merchant that sold him the shells, because I have a kind of an advertisement deal with the guy. Well, he said he wanted, or rather, he was going to find me in Bellavia. Didn't happen so far. Then he'd train with what she called Coraline.
Hmm.
Probably meditation techniques. He has been agitated pretty much all week. And also, something he's been pushing back in fear of what Hassad told him, he would cast thingy sending to contact his brother towards
Mhm.
the end of the week.
Okay. And I think that's where we'll pick up. As well, you were doing some crafting during your downtime.
Yes.
Now, since we can go through this kind of day by day, you have 7 days to make 7 kind of like sets of checks, if you will. So we'll go through these items one by one if you want, and see how many and which ones you can accomplish. So which one would you like to do first?
Yeah, I'd start with the Swift Stepper boots.
Okay.
Also, I think I can do 2 crafting checks a day because it's kind of long rest based. I technically can do 2 if you allow that.
We'll say you can do 3, just because you have people there to help you, and as well, you're in a place where you have the entire day to kind of plan these out. You have all the resources at your hand, so it's much easier to do. So if you want to go through these one by one, you do the rolls. You know the checks to make, so go for it.
Yep. There's 2 intelligence and 2 dexterity checks for the Swift Steppers, so gotta fix that up. Also, I'd like to use a spell to help me, which is Enhance Ability, which gives
Yeah.
me advantage.
Okay, and as well, because this is over a prolonged period of time, you have enough spell slots to burn to be able to do this anyway. So you give yourself advantage on all of these rolls.
Alright, so I have to fix this up for intelligence. I get a plus 1d4. And so, advantage. That's a 17, and I roll against 15.
Yeah, you succeed on the
What?
first one.
Okay, then the second one.
15
That's
again, you
exactly.
succeed. Very good. 1 left.
2, unfortunately.
Oh, 2 for this item.
And
Gotcha.
those are dexterity, so I gotta fix that up again. There you go.
So 1 more for this day. Okay, very good. Day 1 goes without a hitch. You plan everything ready for the next morning to finish off these boots. So now is day 2. You can add one of these checks to this roll. So go for it. Another dexterity.
Yep.
And you succeed. The boots are made within 2 days. With all the proper planning and everything you have around you, you create these magnificent winged boots, which you can feel free to describe once you hand them over to whoever is going to be using them. We'll just continue with the rest of the checks. So what's next on the shopping itinerary?
Okay,
list?
since I'm already doing Helen's items, I'd like to continue. Also, the quiver's kind of useless without the arrows, so
Okay.
Cal, you're next. Trust. But for now, I gotta do 2 wisdom and 4 dexterity.
Okay.
So with Smith's tools, there's wisdom plus 1d4 from the blessing thing. There you go, net 20, which means I complete both wisdom checks at
Jesus
once.
Christ!
Easy.
Yeah.
I'm just that good, apparently. Having advantage helps not rolling all those ones.
Yeah. So
Wait,
with a nat 20, you get to choose, no, which check you automatically succeed. It doesn't have to be a wisdom one.
Do
You
I?
can choose whichever one in there.
Then I choose dexterity, obviously.
Yeah. Understandable. Very good.
Okay, that's that's the other one for the day. So
Yep.
that's the wisdom checks done and 3 dexterity left for the third
Shit.
day.
Okay, third day next. Rocking and rolling with all of these rolls.
There you go. That's also done.
Success.
Oh, by the way, for everyone watching, I'm rolling it against 20. This is not easy.
He says that, fucking rolling everything over his
This is not supposed to be easy. Okay, there you go.
So now the third one for the third day.
And there you go.
Jesus Christ. So that's another item completed, correct?
Yes.
Very good. So this one's the rapier, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
I-
you just finish off this long, delicate rapier, which you can describe at a later point once it's finished. Day 4. What's next now? You've completed 2 items. What's next?
Okay, arrows first.
Okay.
So let me get out. I gotta do only 1 constitution roll against 12. I am hopeful I can do this.
You've jinxed it now. It's going to be 2 nat ones.
Just imagine this is the first one you failed. That would be
Yes.
Oh my god. He's unstoppable.
Since I can batch craft those, that's 4 arrows.
Yep.
Which means that's done. And the last thing is the Quiver of Summoning,
hmm
which is 3 rolls, 2 wisdom, 1 dexterity against 15.
Why do I think he's going to get another nat 20 at some point?
I mean, I'm on board.
So close, so close.
32.
At this point, I
God.
should mention I do have expertise for this.
Oh my
This
god.
is why I got it.
You are cracked, sir. You are fucking cracked.
Okay, that's the second. Wait.
It's still a success, I
rolling-
think, for the
Yeah, exactly. I'm
quiver.
rolling against 15 this time.
Yeah, so that's the 4th day
That is
complete.
literally a 4. He rolled a 4 and
Yes.
still succeeds. This is insane.
Yes.
Oh,
But also that would have been a nat 1 without the advantage. So
true.
Okay, and the last one is dexterity, I
Yeah,
believe.
so this is day 5. You've gone through a full period of just like ting ting messing around.
Yes.
Everyone, I just love the image of like this is all in the same place. So the underground lair that you guys have as part of this mansion. You have your training grounds, you have your alchemy supplies, you have your small bit of studying as well. A small kind of botanical garden that grows all strange, massive things. And you just see Ulring going from every single station, whilst everyone's like fighting in the pits, doing their own jobs, learning and preparing. Ulring's like, as the montage and time lapse is going by, he's in one space. Day 2, he's in the next space, and then day 3, and then
Oh.
day 4. He's just moving on from each field.
Yeah, or
Brilliant.
is
Alan would put
doing-
up a barrier around the alchemy supplies when he starts like hammering and like breaking shit.
Yeah,
Like fully like nope, and would build a barrier.
I love the image of Helen being down in the alchemy supplies every day, seeing Ulring just and every day, just getting closer by one as sparks are flying. Good stuff. All right, you're on day 5. You've only got like
Yeah.
I think a couple of rolls left.
Yeah, that's the last check actually.
Oh, that's the
So-
last check. Okay,
Here we go. Yep.
done.
And
Nice.
that's the last item done.
By the morning, you have this quiver prepared, and it leaves you plenty of time on the following days to accomplish the rest of your required jobs, meeting, learning from other people, as you have these items all crafted. Very good. So, on the morning arises, the week has passed, and you have your morning rituals as you begin to prepare for a meeting, a gathering of everyone who is working underneath Hassar, to go about a plan of action. So I will ask you guys to describe how you start your mornings, because as well, another question has to come up. Are you staying at the inn still, or are you staying in the mansion now? Because you do have rooms in both. Whichever one you wish to stay in, it is up to you.
I'd say I'm currently staying at Hasar's place. I'm pretty much living in my work environment at this point.
Very good.
Cal's still at the inn,
Okay.
bouncing between the places, sometimes sleeping in one place, sometimes in the other, but mostly at the inn.
Okay. For Helen?
Helen would be probably sleeping and staying at Hazar's place and would be like up crack of dawn, like avocado, bacon, eggs, like full protein almond mom, like breakfast muffins, like making the most of it.
Very good.
Oh boy,
And,
6 a.m. Trying time to ward off Orin from my alchemy supplies.
Yeah, basically.
Doing a chalk outline. This is your space, a tiny little square, and everything else is mine. Just keep your shit in there and leave me with everything else. This is my space. And Axon, where are you staying?
I would say at the inn.
At the inn, okay. Perfect. So, on this morning, Helen, you arise to prepare your kind of like breakfast routine, start up bright and early. You see a couple of other people are still kind of awake as well at this time. You can see Pietrgrana, the cloud giant. She's kind of active very early in the mornings. If anything, she beats you to the kind of like the kitchen area. You can see her almost meditating in the saloon area in front of a small fireplace as she just looks at you as you enter and gives you a nod. You can also see laying on the couch the wood elf tiefling who seems to have crashed here for the night and just sleeping on the sofa. You can see her mouth kind of going as if she's snoring out loud, but she makes no noise. So she's just there laying and still in full armor as well. She hasn't taken it off. So you can see the gauntlet is still attached to her arm. But that's who you kind of see in the morning, as well as Olrin preparing for his morning routines, checking over his materials and such. Coraline, as well, is probably one of the first people up. She is probably swiftly behind you, in fact. But you guys are mainly the ones in the saloon at this point, as you just have the morning to yourselves. As you are kind of preparing breakfast, you do see Pietrgrana. She kind of looks over in the direction. Good morning. Do you know of our plans moving forward?
I believe everyone had some tasks to get done around here, bit of training. We better get moving soon. I mean, I have some ideas, but I think for now everyone's just trying to take the time while we have it.
Understandably so. And I saw a bit of your training with Coril. He is very precise and fast. I had some issues myself trying to keep up with him. Tricky fights. I'm just glad he's on our side.
Helen would just like chuckle and nod and goes, "Makes for a fantastic teacher, though. My shoulder is still killing me."
Would you like me to have a look? And she
Helen
kind of
would
stands up.
just kind of nod and kind of shrug down the kind of side of her shirt so she can get a better look at it.
Okay.
Would plate her up some breakfast.
How tall is Helen?
Helen's probably, she's like tall-ish and she tends to wear slight heels, so she's probably like 5'9" with like 1.5 heels on, so like 5'10"-ish.
Okay. Pietrgrana is around 6'5", and you see as she kind of walks over, even though she's kind of like a Goliath in stature, she's still very kind of slender and thin. But she placed herself behind Don't worry. I have dislocated much in the past. These sorts of things I can try and rearrange. You see, she kind of places her hand in your back. Don't worry, it won't hurt. Well, pain is only for a limited time. And you see, she like cracks in there. You feel this kind of, this kind of like shock to your system. And you see, she kind of like pulls back. All fixed. For a minute, you feel the pain, and you're like, this doesn't feel right. But then you feel as though your arm is almost slightly heightened, like your reflexes are almost able to snap at any moment, and you have a free reroll throughout the day.
She just kind of shrug and go, "Thank you. I wish breakfast were enough to pay back for that, but I will owe you a favor," and would slide her across a very stacked breakfast plate.
This is plenty. You do not want to be offering any favors to people. Favors can be very dangerous. Breakfast is fine.
She'd just kind of nod and eat her breakfast.
Mm-hmm. We will focus on Axon and Cal. Two of you. Who is the first to wake up from the two of you?
Not Cal.
Cal.
I don't know what I
Sorry.
sleep.
Okay.
I mean, unless is there an agreed upon time where they have to be there? Like,
Roll a fucking, I don't know, history check to see if Cal can actually remember if he has to be in today.
oh boy, first actual day of work, and he's already not sure when he has to
Late.
show up. 8.
You know there is a meeting today, but you're also quite tired and you don't know when, so might be a good idea to check in with someone.
Right. Yeah, he's gonna roll himself out of bed, not bother getting like prepared yet. So he's essentially
Mhm.
still in his sleeping clothes. I was just gonna pat over to Axon's room and just knock on the door consistently, like tuk 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 tuk. Pause for a
Yeah.
second to hear if there's a reaction.
Yeah, you can come in. It's open.
Right. So morning. Are we supposed to be anywhere today? I feel like we were supposed to be somewhere today. Or
Well,
like,
if
if yes, when?
if I do recall correctly, we need to be at Dimension around like half an hour. So
Ah.
you better be, ready at that time.
Yeah. How long does it take on average to walk over to the mansion from the inn?
Well, because the city is so dense and the streets are ever winding, it'll probably take you around a good 20 minutes to get to the mansion.
Oh, goddamn. Um,
So Axel will look
okay, yeah, Cal's
outside.
gonna...
Yeah, and say you have roughly like 5 minutes to get ready.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go to the bakery. I'm gonna stop at a bakery. I'm gonna grab like muffins or something. Do you want one?
No, thank you. I already had my breakfast, and
We
should
don't-
I wait for you,
Okay.
or will you be able to get the mansion?
Nah, don't worry. I can manage.
Okay, then don't be late.
I'll certainly try. And he's gonna go over to his room and get dressed, get ready. Make sure he has everything that's important, and then go to a bakery first. Grab, I don't know, muffins.
I love how you have like 5 minutes to get ready. You're like, oh, I'm just gonna get some breakfast. I'm just gonna go out, hit the
He's
town.
not gonna eat it at the bakery. He's gonna go to a bakery, grab muffins, and then continue on the way.
Can you, as Cal, roll a survival check for me to determine how long this line is to the bakery is?
Well, I am supposed to be a ranger, so I should be able to do survival. You know?
Okay.
Okay, 22.
The line is quick. you see a couple of people like in front of you, and you kind of turn up. You're like, I gotta, and they just kind of like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
You can
gonna be late
go
for
in front
work,
of me. It's
sorry.
fine. I have 20 minutes.
And
Go
you are an
for it.
amazing person.
I am an amazing person.
Yes, you are.
You see, he's kind of shocked. He's like,
I
Starts
would
crying.
like five strawberry muffins and 5 chocolate muffins, please.
Yes, no problem. That will be 3 silver pieces.
Here you go. Have 4. Thank you.
Would you also like a fly pie as an extra? They're fresh.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, please.
All right, I'll bring 2.
and they turn
Thanks.
back.
On the house.
Oh, thank you. That's so kind. Bye bye. I'll definitely be back. And then he's gonna rush to the meeting.
You begin to run.
Carefully
survival
holding the
check.
pastries. Very carefully holding the
Thank you
pastries.
for saying that. I'd like you to roll a sleight of hand check.
Oh no, it got worse.
For anyone else, by the way, for anyone else, these rolls wouldn't be necessary, but because it's Cal, and because of the amount of stories that Leone has added into his backstory about him just like wandering off and going on crazy shit, Leone, I always have to ask you to roll for this, like even the
Yeah.
mundane stuff.
Yeah, that's very
So,
fair.
You
19.
on your way to the mansion with a bag full of food, you come across like elements that get in your way. There's like a horse and cart that just shift in front of your path, blocking it entirely, as it seems like there's a traffic jam. You like slide underneath, jump over,
Yeah,
do
he's
some
just
crazy
parkour.
acrobatics to get there in time. I would also like for Axon, since you're on your way from the inn, and Cal, if the two of you could just roll a perception check.
Perception. Ooh, 10. Good job.
26. Axon, if you could also roll 40 20s for me.
As
what-
one
what?
or separate?
Separate. So 40
Oh.
20s, just.
Okay. Oh wait. Can I do it like this? Yeah, hope.
Yes, Arne. At some point, this will happen. Mark it down. Fucking hell. Okay. You are leaving the confines of the inn. As you begin to walk towards the mansion, you notice that there is a figure following you, hiding in the shadows, trying to
Oh, thank
maintain slight secrecy. You see the almost tapestry-looking figure, the almost like Eladrin mixed with autumn colors and a bit of a wintry touch to them. In that kind of frilly skirt, you see Smiles, the guy who seems to have a perpetual smile across his face. As he's hiding in the shadows and trying to follow you, you do see a couple of the guards kind of walk up and have now somewhat surrounded him. And you hear him just say, "You are under arrest. You have been found trespassing as well as causing a inconvenience to the people of the Everett Dynasty. You are coming with us." And you see as the 4 guards surround him, he looks past their shoulders, looks at you, and you see he begins to comply, and he begins to get escorted away from you as you make your way to the mansion unstopped.
I will also
I
like
swear to
turn
God.
turn around, also like put a smile and wave like bye bye. Hope you will have a good time.
You see him just kind of like
I can't believe this.
smile, and he can only smile. Very good. So the two
I
of you.
just want to point out, Ilya just got a plot hook arrested.
Hey, look, that's what happens during these downtimes, you know.
Yeah. Plot
I
hook.
don't know. At least it might like I might have preserved it for next arc.
next
Good
next
boy.
campaign.
Or maybe, yeah, next campaign.
Very good. So the two of you arrive. You see a couple of other people also join through. You see Salo arrive, as well as Muduruk. He was also out and about, seemingly active in the city, but with the time to have a meeting coming, all of you return to the mansion. And you can see that the bottom floor is now filled with both parties. Your group is now present, as well as Life's Echo. Now seemingly haven't interacted slightly more. You can see a few of them are more engaged in your group. On occasion, you see them kind of talking, chatting, looking over, giving a sign of respect. You're going to be working together for a while, so some of you are beginning to start those connections now. For Olrin, you watch as Muduruk, the bugbear cleric to Celestia, you can see his expression is quite dour. He looks like he's not had much sleep. And as he walks through the door, not having stayed in the mansion at all, seemingly being outside of the mansion's limits, you see he looks over to Pietgrana, their kind of de facto leader, and they have like a small word with each other. And then he just kind of idly sits by, just waiting for the meeting to happen. But on occasion, you see him holding onto the holy symbol, which he has wrapped around a chain in his right hand. One which is almost denoting a star of some sorts. But Olrin, if you'd like to roll a insight check.
Yep. On that. 14.
With a 14, you can see that he definitely has a similar almost feeling as you did when all of these... It is clear when there is a devout follower to a certain deity that some elements of their faith has been shifted or kind of broken. You can see that he is going through perhaps a similar line to that.
Yeah. In that case, I guess I'd walk up to him.
Mm-hmm. You see he looks up to you and kind of gives this half smile, again, heavy eyelids. Good morning. Is it morning? Afternoon?
I believe it's morning. I haven't had much sleep. Been working. You seem somewhat downtrodden. Has something happened?
Of course, someone of the faith would see so closely to my fallings. I have spent nights, every night that we've been here, praying to the stars that they could shine some light on what is happening, to where we need to go next. But my prayers, they have fallen on idle ears, and the stars do not talk to me. All I can feel is the dark. The presence and knowledge now of these demons weighs a heavy toll.
Some paths are ours to choose, friend. The gods do not meddle, they aid at most.
For all my life, Celestia has always spoken to me and guided me in the right path. Does yours not speak to you.
Well, perhaps we have a different connection to our god. Moradin does guide me. I feel his hand in what has transpired, some of it. However, he does not steal from me my choice of which direction to take. And I'd assume neither does your god.
Well, and now I don't know anything. All I feel is that cold, dark expanse. When I look up at the stars, I do not see lights. I just see the darkness, the echo of space. They do not shine for me. And that leaves me hollow inside, but without guidance. I do not know what road to take. I am in conflict. How do you know what decisions to make in life?
Oh.
You have tenets to follow. You have an oath to uphold, but you must also navigate life. How do people live?
I know little more of what lies ahead than my companions. They're not guided by God either, and they've found their way, though Kel keeps getting lost. It's not that in every road you need a sign to follow. Sometimes you just have to walk a direction and see where it leads. Get a
You
new
see-
perspective.
No perspective. Thank you, Ulrin Morglosh. I needed this. I've been so reliant on Celestia that I did feel lost. But now, perhaps being lost is the key. Perhaps we are all just lost. Like children in a maze.
Or, as the Tsar keeps putting it, drung along by fate.
I do not like that.
Neither do I. However, it is my choice how far it will lead me.
Do you know of the... I understand faith is different for all cultures. But from my people, faith has another word. There are moments in life that a decision must be made by someone. I've let Celestia guide me, but now I see I must stand on my own 2 feet. But this guiding road, there are people, creatures from myth and tale and fables that would mess with these threads and create utter chaos. I think the tales that are spun, the stories where these derive from, are these demons. These creatures of cause and effect things that should never be. But somehow they are, because they themselves have meddled with fate. Changed history for their own betterment. I see that this is my goal. What is your goal?
I can't say that I hold such high aspirations. I have more or less stumbled into this situation. I found my calling along the way here to rebuild Moradin's temple. I've found out about the demons and their doings, and sworn to keep them from resurfacing. But a goal? I'm just following the ideas that I already brought with me when I left on this journey, and act upon them. Which gets me into all kinds of trouble, but that's life.
And life is ever so beautiful. Thank you.
No worries.
As time continues, you have about 10 more minutes until the meeting is ready and all of you are to head upstairs. If there's anything you wish to discuss amongst yourselves or with Life's Echo, now's the chance.
Yeah, I'd like to walk over to Axon. Axon, do you perhaps know where Kel is?
Well, he should arrive soon. He said that he would like to get some muffins, I believe it was. So
Oh, no.
I warned him to not be late, but if you know Kel, he might be, but I would not be worried. It's he should arrive. He should arrive shortly.
You underestimate his ability to get lost on errands.
Well, at least he was healthy when I met him. I trust in his abilities to get here on time.
Well, in any way, I have made some things during the week. Unfortunately, for you and Maysili, I barely know anything of the workings of your powers, so I must disappoint. However, if you have anything regarding that you're comfortable to talk about, I will see that I find some time to make you something too.
What do you mean comfortable about? To talk about my profession, my path, my I don't know, tendencies?
Oh, your weird magical abilities. I can't quite place them, so
I mean,
it makes it difficult to guess what you could need.
yeah, I mean, how to put it? If you have any questions about my magical connections or abilities, feel free to ask. I'm quite open, though it might, like, for some, it might be for someone of your stature. How to put it more lightly? I'm afraid you might find it despicable, you know. But if you are not scared, you can ask, of course.
Well, so far I find them more unorthodox. But do not touch my soul in any way.
No worries.
I don't quite know what the business with the Null was about still.
Well, as I said, I gave him my word, and I fulfilled my promise. So that's nothing else was transpired that day.
Well, anyhow, if you have an item, some tool you could use for your practices, let me know. If you can detail what you need, I should be able to make it.
Yeah. If you're offering, so you don't need to be involved in my I will say it unorthodox ways. It would be like quite sufficient if you improved the armor or the shield. It would be most than welcome.
Sure, I'll see to that then.
Okay.
Well, tell me any preferences if you have some.
Yeah, it should like be how to say it's befitting of my stature, you know. I'm not so if you would not be like changing any designs, it would be fine.
Sure.
And by the way, regarding your soul, I don't think I would have any rights, even if you died, to touch it. I'm not so familiar with death as you might think I am.
Well, good to know then. Well, anyhow, that's what I wanted to say. Well, I do have some things for Brooke, but let's have that wait till later.
For Brooke?
Helen, sorry. Yes, I have peered through the fourth wall.
Yes. I have
I
these
mean,
for you.
with those rolls, you know.
There you go.
Just pushes through the camera. Get some 3D glasses on, guys. We're pushing into another dimension. Let's go.
Reaches through, hands you
that's
medieval
not.
weaponry.
As you begin to mention Helen, or at least have a thought of them, you see them sat along the way. Helen, you see walking up to you the gnome Sallow. You see he's kind of like looking around. He's like, oh, 1, 2, 3. Oi, where the fuck is your mate?
I have no idea. I'm not their keeper. I couldn't even if I tried.
Oh, didn't get lost in the woods again, did he? Ah, shit.
Who specifically are you looking for?
Cal. No.
I have no idea.
You know, the guy with orange hair, bird-like features.
Yeah. Always getting lost, always falling over, something to that effect.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think I
No
might head out and see if I can find him.
Probably a decent idea.
Yeah. He begins to leave. Door opens. Cal, at the same time as the door opens, you push through. Could you roll a dex save, please?
No, the muffins. A dexterity saving throw. I'm good at those.
He's a gnome.
22.
You are fine. You just kind of open the door, step over him. He's like, "What? Oh, hey, what the fuck? Oh, there you are." As you have this bag full of
Morning.
muffins. Everyone,
So crazy traffic outside. There was giant, there was a giant rat, and he pushed over a cart driven by an oxen. It was wild. So, and I had to do like a fucking flip over it because they wouldn't let me past. But do you want a muffin? I have strawberry muffins and I have chocolate muffins, and they also were very nice at the bakery. They gifted me pies. So, you want a piece of pie?
does any of it have alcohol in it?
No, as far as I know, I didn't ask. The pies might. I don't think the muffins do.
Let's have a look at these pies.
Alright, there you go. Oh, he's gonna hand him one of the pies.
Mhm. You hand him a fly pie, which has, it's not actually flies. There's like large
Ah,
bits
that's
of
good.
raisins in it that have been soaked, what smells like fucking weeks in rum. And you see Salah just licks his
Right.
lips. Well, I'll be taking one of these. And he just takes the whole thing.
The entire. Oh, that's okay. Well, they were gifts, so. Okay.
It's about the same size as his head. And he's like, oh. Takes it.
Right.
You start handing out the pastries, but as you do,
Yes.
you can see both Coraline and Richter are standing by the staircase, waiting for you to finish. As you see Coraline,
I'm gonna give them muffins. Like, there you go. No. No. Okay, no muffins. That's okay. I can put them in the fridge and you can eat them later.
you see Richter puts up a hand. No, I don't really eat pastries. It's terrible for your physique. So I
But
stay away from
no,
carbs.
there's strawberries in it. There's strawberries in it, so it's like. healthy,
Roll a deception or persuasion check.
right? I swear to God, if I roll well on this, that would be hilarious. Where even is that button? There. I've never rolled this on this character, so I'm out of touch.
11.
Ooh, 11. On Cuno, that would have been an amazing roll.
I'm okay, but thank you. Caroline, you see, she just like picks one up. I'll take this. And she just begins to eat it. You do watch as she's kind of eating the food. There is almost like a delay in her eating. You see as she bites into it, her mouth kind of consumes part of it, but then you see the bite mark then be left behind like a slight millisecond later. There's like a delay. Cal, you only see this because you're right next to her, but you just see it's bite and then the bite mark appears.
Okay, great. I'm gonna put the rest of these away. You guys can already head up. I'm gonna put. And
All
just
right.
gonna rush into the kitchen and put the rest of this away.
Sure thing. So, should we head upstairs and find out what's going on? Put our plans together? The meeting's
Oh,
happening now, so I'm just saying it a bit more openly, so it doesn't seem like we're having to do an actual professional meeting, but this is quite important. So if we could have all of your attention and get ready as we go upstairs.
Of course.
Helen would kind of pick up like fitness smoothie type thing she's made
Yeah,
in
yeah,
like it's not a shaker cup, but it kind of looks like a shaker cup.
yeah.
And she just kind of takes it upstairs.
It just says, "I heart the dynasty." So, okay, here we go. Take it upstairs. Very good. As you all head upstairs to the second floor, where there is this large kind of dining room area, you can see it's kind of been outfitted with almost like a map in the center of the table, with candles illuminating and different points. And you can see there are small, almost like miniature versions of yourselves that have been almost crafted. Think of them as like miniatures that you'd have in D&D. You see each one of them, you represented and painted as well. Kind of getting most of your look and kind of main attire. You can see as Axon, you pick up one of them. The shade of blue is maybe slightly darker than your actual skin tone, and you just see Richter just shrug. Unfortunately, I didn't have the right paint, so I will change that in the future. So don't worry about it too much. It doesn't distract you from everything else.
No worries. It's okay.
And
Personally, I think these are rather well made.
Oh, yes, that's so cool. Look at this. And he's just holding it right in front of Mercedes' face and just going, look at it, it's so cool.
you just hear Sallow pick up his like, what the fuck? Why is it so small? Look, what's he's so small? Why is everyone else just like 10 times as big?
Helen will just pat him on the shoulder.
I know size doesn't matter, and that's how you use it, but come on. Really? Couldn't have just like made me like everyone else? Didn't have to just... You made Pithgrana the same size as everyone... Oh, never mind. Okay, whatever. And he kind of just puts it back on the table. If you are unhappy with it, then I can make another one. No! Fuck it. I don't give a shit. Okay? Doesn't mean anything to me. Not like I've been picked on my entire life for being short or anything. You know, it is what it is. You hear Coraline just whisper over into his ear for those who are close. Probably Ulrin and Axon. You just hear Coraline say, well, we could kill you and bring you back as something else if you'd like. Resurrection, revivifies, you know, that sort of thing. If you don't like your body that it is now, we could change that for you.
I hate to correct you, but you probably meant to reincarnate.
This guy knows. Reincarnation, baby. Just
Specialty.
And I would be... I would prefer not to kill anyone and reincarnate because it might get complicated.
Oh, sure, it'll get a little bit complicated, but don't worry about it. We're all professionals here, so... Hey, look, Sallow, if you're unhappy with your height, we can turn you into a centaur if you'd like.
Or a hill giant.
I'll give it some thought. Thanks, Caroline. Axel, you can do this as well.
If you really want to do this, I can assist, of course.
Oh yeah, can you make me a giant?
But you know that you will. You need to first you need to die to become a giant.
Duh. I'd love to do that. So yeah, if just fucking kill me, and now I can be a giant. Yeah, go for it.
Helen shrugs and is already reaching for her sword.
I will mark it on my to-do list, and if I would have some time, I will return to your offer and make some initial assessment and provide you with the payment proposition. It will not be free.
It won't be free.
Of course not. What do you think? It's like.
Well, I thought a person like you'd be you'd be grateful to have a corpse like me, because you look like you do all sorts of weird, strange things. So you could use my body. You could just. I give you permission to use everything a part of my physical form. If you just take out my soul, put it into a giant, preferably a big giant. Don't just go for the little runts. I want the full thing. Okay. And then I'll sign a piece of paper, because that's all really formal, and you can use my body for anything that you like. Okay. Again, I do not care as long as I am a giant. So,
do you already have a body or empty body without a soul, giant of a giant?
Do I need one of them?
Well, preferably yes, but
What if
look,
I kill a giant that I
yeah,
really
yeah.
like
Before
the look
you
of,
go
and
and
you put me in them?
before you do this, it should be like the body should be empty, but it should not be emptied forcibly.
So if I persuade them into me killing them, then that'll work?
Not exactly, because it's still a murder, and even if it's like happening like with their consent,
I'm
but
too
again,
hungover for this.
it's only like about the body.
What if they
Don't
die
forget,
of natural causes and Salah just happens to help them along?
it's even
What if they're
worse
going to die anyway?
if the body deceased by the natural causes. It's even almost impossible to to reuse it for another soul. Let's put it that way. That's the first part. Second part, you need the materials, and the third part, you need to invest a lot of time. And let's be clear here. Do I look like a charity for you to invest my precious time towards that idiotic
Roll an intimidation check.
idiotic
Yeah.
proposal?
You have advantage because someone else is getting quite pissed off at this as well.
Only 16.
16. You begin to kind of like speak him down, and he's like, "Oh well, we are killing demons, I guess." As he like begins to fold slightly and stop talking. But as well, you notice that he glances over to the other side of the table, who you can see Modorok, the bugbear, just staring at him with this kind of like deathly look. And you just hear him just growl underneath his breath. Do not disrespect the man's mansion. We are here to listen to what our plan is next. Quiet down. And you see he just grows quiet. There was an enchantment spell made, and Sallow chose to fail it because he knows better than to try and fight it. And you just watch as he like sits in the chair. Well, he jumps up to the chair, sits there, and just stays quiet for the rest of this meeting.
I will just pass him by and like come closer to his ear, but not so, a bit discreetly. As you mentioned, we fight in demons, so, and I heard demons might fulfill your wishes. You might think about it.
He nods with a great smile on his face. Unable to say any words. As you all gather, sat around this table and kind of standing around, you can see before you the table has been made with this map. The map itself is one that's kind of seems to be tangible. There's almost like risen areas of it as though it is 3D in parts. You can see the mountain formations of the Howling Mountains. You can see trees representing the groundwork and the kind of areas that are wooded or covered with jungles and swamps. You see the rivers lying through, and you essentially see the map of the kind of central to lower part of Calzaria in front of you. More specifically, kind of almost tagged with buildings that rise upwards, you see surrounded by a tree line, a marker placed where the Shard of Glass Zone 1 is located in the Red Grain Forest. There is also a marker with where you guys are located currently at the moment, in the kind of southern point of this map. You see, there is no Hussar here. Coril is present, but he's kind of sat, not at the table, but just sat idly to the side next to one of the doorways, just watching as this takes place. You see both Coraline and Richter are the ones that are seemingly engaging in this discussion with you guys. Richter will begin to gesture down. You can see where we are now is located in Bellavia. Please place down your tokens. I hope you'll enjoy them. I know I've heard some criticisms and some compliments, but please, if you could place them here, As you can see, there is a fair distance to travel. To get to the Shattered Glass Zone 1, just call it Zone 1 at the moment, it's a bit more easier than saying the entire thing. It is a journey. As I understand it, many of you have crossed this journey going through the Howling Mountains and back into the Dawn Republic in the center. It's a tricky traversal. There is no lie about it. There are a couple of ways of getting to this town settlement if we were to engage directly with these demonic forces. Now, if our mission is to attack within the following weeks, then we can march on ground, but it will leave us open and vulnerable to prying eyes. The demons don't really know that we are on their case, yet some of you have interacted with them, and perhaps they may be slightly alerted by some sort of presence. So they may be a bit more weary than they were before, but nonetheless, we still have the element of surprise as they do not know how many of us there are. The question is, how do we engage? As far as I see it, we have two groups that have been fully formed since the very beginning of your journey. There are two of us, both myself and Coraline. What we can do is split up into two. Have either myself or Coraline with one of you, and the other with the other, and we can journey together to find and piece together whatever needs to be done. Now, there are three options in front of us. Traverse on foot, traverse by the coastline, or we could use this brilliant mansion, which is at our disposal, and find our way closer to the destination. However, bear in mind that this mansion does stand out in a city unlike Bellavia. Although it can teleport and find itself in the mountains, in a forest, without the safety of other buildings around it, it may be open to eyes and easily attacked. But those are the three options in front of you. I'm open to suggestions, and if we have any ideas on what we are facing and how to face them. You see, he takes a step back.
I just raised a hand.
Mm-hmm. He gestures over. Excellent, please.
Before we begin this discussion and deciding on how we approach the thing, and I look at Kirill. Like, Kirill is essential part of our group, so I think he should be participating in the discussion as well and voice his opinion, or have a right to voice his opinion.
You see Richter nods and looks down towards Kirill. Kirill will stand up. I have already made my points clear with Hassad. It will be fine. As part of my involvement in all of this, I have given you the training that you need. I am here in the wings if any issues were to arise. As much as I would love to slay these demons in person, I know that my presence is aware. They know me. And if there's anything that these demons know, it's scent. If you've engaged with them, they will easily track you down. If you're in their scope, you will be targeted. And for me, there is already a marker placed. My place is better suited here. In case an attack at home were to happen whilst everyone is away, then at least someone has eyes on Aiden Hassar. But again...
No.
Yes.
That's not what I meant. I didn't propose you to join us on the field. I meant that if you're actually an expert in dealing with demons, if you have any suggestions or maybe some favorite plan how to approach them. You know their weaknesses is known here present, I think.
It has been a long time since I've interacted with these demons. They have evolved like anything else. They are smarter, more cunning than when I first interacted with them. They were just a baby setting foot in this world when I first met them. But now they have institutions, they have thralls, they are leading kingdoms hidden from the shadows. As much as I know, it is old and not to be relied upon. But there are some things that are very clear when it comes to demons. Do not think that they cannot be killed. Everything can die. Nothing escapes death. Not even death. There are ways to slay each demon. They are unique. The two that you face ahead of you, they are symbiotic in nature. They rely on one another. The best way to remove them is to take out one and then the next. Focus your energies. Without the other to rely on, they will fall. But one thing to bear in mind, many demons have two aspects to them. The physical form in which they inhabit, the puppet, if you will, and then their true form. You must defeat them in their true form for them to truly die. But I've only slain a few demons. These demons may have grown weary of such actions and have taken countermeasures. With further research into them, I could find more. But for now, we are against the clock. And I am looking to the further afield demons, focusing my attention on those bigger fish. These couple of runts, I think you are more than capable of taking out, especially with what I've taught you. And he looks to the ones who he's trained with. No, kind of locking eyes with both Axon and Helen from your group.
Well,
But we have created a telecommunication system in case we need to traverse and great distances by voice. And you see he hands out a sending stone. He places one in the hands of Richter and one in the hands of Coraline, who in turn look to each of you. If we are going to go ahead, this is Richter, with splitting our attention between two groups, then I suggest this is paired with one in your group, and he gestures to the group of you, the five of you. Meanwhile,
We're not getting
life's-
the weird one. Help us not take that out.
meanwhile,
Help us not
Caroline
take that out.
Caroline goes over to Life's Echo. And we have this one. If we need to discuss anything over long distances, these things are connected indefinitely. But just be assured that if you were to maybe use them in a place that might cause some ears to perk up, as demons can occasionally find these lines and listen, then we may compromise our situation. So use them sparingly and when you're in a safe place, if possible. So you see Caroline, she hands hers over to Piethgrana. And then amongst you guys, you see Richter hand it out to whoever steps forward and takes it from him.
I mean, if no one else
Anyone?
does, Kat is definitely open to taking it.
Helen will take it if it
Cass
looks
is
like
like,
it's going to be between Helen and Cal.
Oh.
Helen,
Yeah, I was about to say if Helen reaches out, Oren will basically jump.
So it's literally just Cal takes a minor step forward, Helen goes like, no, and Orin goes like, oh, wait, mine. Yep.
It's literally Cal walking up and then Helen, nope, I've got it. I've
and
got
then
it.
Orin going in front of Helen like, nope, nope.
Mhm. So who's taking the stone?
Helen will try and take it.
I will take it.
Mushu
Yes.
takes it. Who wants
Yes.
it? Who's taking it?
Seeing that fighting or sending stone, I will just take it.
Well, sure.
Okay.
So long as Kel doesn't have it, I have never seen him keep those things longer than 2 months.
So
Wait, that's me. I still have this thing, and he whips out the feather and waves around with it. This is the same thing, and I still have it. And it's been, I think 2 weeks since I've had it, so point still stands. Fair enough.
So for the two of you, you now have a home stone. These home stones act as a sending stone, but they act between your group, the other group, as well as home base, whoever is located there. This can be Kirill, this could be Aiden Hassar. It's whoever is manning that operation at the time, which it seems to be Kirill at this point. These are not limited to words. You can use them indefinitely, however you like, but it needs to be used by a singular person to speak through. It doesn't work as a open voice channel for everyone to speak through. It is one person activating and speaking into it. And it isn't through words out loud, it is through your mind. So there is also a bit of subtlety to it as well. So just bear that in mind. So now you have
You
these
said
items.
that we can communicate with the other group. Can we also communicate among each other?
No, so the stone only works to whoever has
Okay.
a stone.
Okay.
So since in the actual
Right.
building itself, there is one located somewhere, which you haven't really been informed about. You can only talk to whoever has these stones. So for your group, if you were to try and talk to the other group, the person you talk to directly is Pietgrana, or whoever has the stone at the time. Same goes for you guys. Axon will be the main mode of communication for your group if he has the stone.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
But do you
So
mean?
there we go. Yeah. What do you mean, Leonie? Huh?
If brother from the other end, we're dying. Don't worry, I can reincarnate you as a bird.
No, don't worry. I can reuse your bodies after you die.
So from the background, hand me the stone, make me a giant.
Yes. I'm dying. You heard my contract. You have my notes. Turn me into a giant, please.
Yeah, we would still need some, agreement, payment, and materials.
Fuck that. I'm just going to die. All right. So you have these items at your hand. And now it's just how you wish to go forward. You can see Life's Echo, Pietgrana, she kind of steps forward. Well, we are more than happy to move forward in any way that is suitable for the other team. If we think it will be viable to perhaps split up on the journey in case one of us is slowed down by any means, then the other can make it there first and do the research and scouting whilst the other arrive. Or we can all go together.
Well, as much as I'd like to keep our strength in numbers, with our track record of being ambushed or thrown into perilous danger, it would probably be better to split up on the way. Ensure that, we make it.
Plus,
see
if one of us has been noticed by the powers that be, at least the others may be shielded from it somewhat. We can disguise our involvement.
Coraline nods along. This sounds like a good idea. Just split up our odds, put it in our favor, and whoever makes it there on the other side, then they can start the process. Just be sure not to get caught, whoever gets there first, and we can come up with a plan there. This is one of those rare instances where we're not just fighting against a demon, there are two. So it'll be best if both of us are there to handle that situation in particular. Richter nods. Yes, that sounds like a plan. Well, then it leaves us with two options then, unless anyone has a third option. We can, one group, whichever one it is, can hire a boat and travel along perhaps a merchant ship or a private vessel, head along the coast. Cal, is your arm aching or do you have a question?
No, I have a interjection. We don't need to
Oh.
hire a boat. We have a boat. We were gifted a boat.
You were gifted a boat?
Yeah,
From...
because we are amazing.
he looks at everyone else. Is this true?
Because
Unfortunately,
we're
yes.
amazing and
yes.
protected the ship from the sea hag and vampire
Surprisingly.
dudes and zombie sea creatures. And we use a giant cannon to shoot like this tentacle thing from the sky.
If we stock up on some trade goods while we make our journey over there, perhaps disguise our intentions slightly, it's solid cover.
Well, that leaves one question. We did come across an object, a tracker, as Coral identified it, of the demon that, well, had the curse on Coral. What
yeah,
should we do
we'll-
about that? Our
we'll leave
previous
it here.
plan was perhaps use it to trap a demon, but we should probably not approach a demon while wearing the tracker.
We'll leave it here
Yes.
and Kirill will study it and maybe track the demon back. We agreed it.
Is it
try
safe to
to
keep it in the mansion?
You see Kirill look over. I have it located in a pocket plane at the moment. It is completely safe there. And with my stay in the mansion as well, I have a bit more of a protection against their scrying abilities, their ways of tracking down. So, what I will do on your return is perhaps have a better understanding of which demon this originated from, and maybe even have a trap planned and devised, which we can then spring once all of you have returned with better understanding of how to defeat these demons. Because it's one thing to find one in the wild, but to trap one requires more effort. When a
Right.
demon is trapped, it becomes more unstable, and they act more erratic. In public view, they may still take on the personas in which they have divulged in, and thus they may be easier to manipulate in that way. I understand that these two that are located in Zone 1, they have taken on the forms of mutts, of savage house pets. Perhaps they are easily swayed. Their minds have been altered to follow a thought process of these creatures. But a demon who is trapped, they begin to unleash hell. And I will try to minimize those effects.
Well, I have two small questions regarding that plan. First one, you mentioned that demon can take the looks or the personas of the people around. Do you know any demons which might take the persona of some constantly smiling person? Do you know anyone who might favor that look?
Helen kind of turns and goes, honestly, he seems mostly harmless. You seem to have some kind of grudge against the poor man.
Yeah, because he was stalking me twice. he behaved quite weirdly, and he posed a threat to society, I must say.
Perhaps, Axon, you just have a new fan. I do not know of any sort of demons that have these sorts of designs or looks to them.
Well,
But
at least
it's been a long time, and perhaps there have been more lesser demons that have appeared. It is possible. But our goal is for these clear 11.
yeah. And about that tracker, would it be possible to use it later to draw the attention of the demon who put it on my ceiling? You know, we
With the
could lure.
With the correct ritual, I could bring them here all together.
Okay, so we can decide on time and place where we can summon it and get rid of
Precisely.
it. Okay.
I would just need to figure out which one it is, and as well the rite which will be attuned to that one in particular.
Sounds like a solid plan. So
You see, Pietrgrana looks over. Well, it seems as though you will be taking the ship, and we will go on foot.
yeah, it seems that way.
As much as we dislike going across the Gold Throne Road, it was not an easy journey for us the first time. I think now we have a better understanding of what we face, and perhaps, Coraline, do you have means of transportation? Yeah, we have a few contacts that we can reach out to, and we can get something that'll at least hasten our arrival there, as well, hidden underneath a sort of disguise.
Well, if you are searching for a means of travel, I can offer you a one horse with the cars if you want to use it. We also luckily have a possession of that kind of transportation.
Even
Well-
though that horse was also gifted by the lady that gifted us the other horse, so might also be cursed.
Okay, well, if we have a free horse, a beast of burden, I do not see why we should not use it.
But
We
you
will just
will
need a few more.
you will have to promise me to keep a good care of him. He is kind of precious to me, and don't let him be killed.
Pietrgrana looks over to the rest of her group. We will ensure that your horse stays completely intact. You
Yes.
see the rest of them look over with, do we have to? A couple of them do, not all of them.
Much
But you
appreciated.
see
You
the
can destroy
bugbear.
the cart, but the horse
Mhm.
should be completely fine without a scratch.
Mudoruk, he will look over. Do not worry. I will ensure that the horse is completely safe as we return from the destination. I give you my word.
Thank you. I will be sure to remember it.
You see, Coraline looks at the map. Well, seems we have a pretty good start of things. It might take us a couple of days to get to Zone 1, but depending on the complications on the road, perhaps we'll get there earlier. And for yourselves with the seas, we'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah, we might get attacked by a sea hag again.
Yeah, look at the
maybe
roof.
maybe don't do that. That sounds like a bad idea. Don't provoke a sea hag. That's not a good look.
Does anyone at least
Didn't
knows
do
how
it
to operate
last
the
time.
boat? Or how to drive it?
You
Oh,
see,
the sailors did teach me some.
Richter will look over. I have studied all modes of transportation. I can captain the ship, and I'm sure that it won't be too difficult. You all seem very capable.
Yeah, I just sure hope So if we will again be attacked by the Sea Hag, it would be quite unfortunate indeed to encounter her and her army as well. Again, I don't think we have like means to defend ourselves against her, and
Oh,
you know,
absolutely not.
yeah. So
Yeah, this time we wouldn't even have a dragon. At least not an adult one. No adult Shimmer dragon. No, not Shimmer.
it's
Slapper?
not Shimmer Dragon. Don't you dare
Well-
learn, it's not Shimmer Dragon.
No, I'm aware of that. Do you think Cal remembers?
Flutterwing Dragon.
Okay.
I know. Yeah, that's-
You see Richter at the mention of seas and weather. Look over towards Coraline. Look over to the rest of you. I'm sure that I can help guide the winds and the seas into our favor. Do not worry about any sorts of altercations there. But I cannot guarantee safety. The seas are treacherous, as you have informed us. So we will need to keep an eye out. And as well, with this need of secrecy, what we can do is perhaps bring some sailors or people looking to go back to the Dawn Republic. Have them there as another shield, a cloaking device, if you will. The more
Between
people...
that and getting some cargo, I think it's a smart decision. Shouldn't weigh us down too much. I mean, nothing too heavy.
Well, then it sounds like we have a plan. So, we'll be in communication the entire way. Stones located in both parties. Then we will prepare today, ready ourselves for the journey ahead, and we will leave at the first earliest convenience. Caroline looks over. We'll probably be leaving in the next 3 hours or so. Just get your crew together, and I will ensure that we have transportation through the Howling Mountains. Very good. All right. Good luck, everyone. And you
Yeah,
see...
be careful of the stuff that skins yetis.
Caroline looks over. Skins yetis?
Yeah, when we were there, like, you won't fight them anymore because the temple collapsed onto them. But when we were there were several dead yetis, and they'd not just been killed, they'd been skinned. And it was very gruesome.
Well, I'd quite like to see that, so...
Well, you won't. Again, the temple collapsed onto it because the Knoll necromancer ate this book, and then it went boom, and
Yeah, just be careful, all right, Caroline, and don't mind him.
Yes, no distractions on the road. We'll be fine. We
Yes.
won't be looking out for any temples. All right, well, good luck, guys, and we'll see you on the other side. Life's Echo, whenever you're ready to go, I'll meet you downstairs. And you see she begins to head off as the meeting is adjourned. You see Kirill kind of giving his kind of nods in your guys' directions. And yeah, what do you guys wish to do? You have a few hours before you leave the city, or until you have everything that you want to prepare ready to go. So
I don't
tell
know.
me.
As far as I know of this city, or we spent like the whole week in this city, did I ever heard the mentioning of the Sailors Guild, or I don't know, the Merchants Guild, which like were those like merchants gathering or sailors gathering?
So there doesn't seem to be a guild in particular. This is seemingly a very free market, and a lot of these boats that are located outside are almost family owned. It seems that almost every person, every family has a boat within this large docks. It just seems to be a part of their tradition. And in terms of a guild in particular, there isn't really. The only places that you'd be able to find a congregation of these people doing their thing is in the markets where they sell their goods, or they're looking to repair, but a lot of it, again, because these people are built on a tradition of seafaring nature, they are all very self-dependent. But you do get the commercials that come in, and the commercial side of it is people bringing their wares to sell.
Are there any like specialities for this region that are like fairly common but would sell easily? Like, like the Swiss cheese equivalent, kind of, or
You can roll a history check. I'll give you advantage since you've spent some time here. 22, nice. You would find that because the outside perimeters of the city are so uninhabitable, the only things that can live there are things that are scarcely available and thus become a rarity to find. So it's pretty much anything that is out in the sticks because of how dangerous it is, because of how the monsters have evolved over the years to inhabit these areas, that anything that is being procured from them, be it natural resources or anything like that in particular, then they will fetch a very pretty penny. Any sorts of like body parts of creatures and monstrosities, that will fetch a good coin. The natural elements around. In terms of what Bellavere offers, anything in terms of sailing equipment, like a lot of the sailing equipment here is very easily acquired and fairly cheap, but the resale value elsewhere, because this is a place that this is their bread and butter, this is everything that they make is just of a higher quality, that it can be sold elsewhere for much more coin. So this is your fabrics for sails, this is the ropes that are made because they're made from a local kind of a hemp, anything in particular that is on a ship, including the steel hulls or the anchors themselves, they can be sold onwards for a lot of money. So if you wanted to gather up some supplies and then just kind of bring it with you, however much you end up spending, when you find the next place to sell them, we can then kind of uptick that depending on the persuasion check that you roll. So it depends how much you want to invest in items.
Yeah, Helen would basically turn to the rest of the group and go, if we want to have a legitimate kind of trade cover, maybe we're working to trade someone's goods for them, given, we've been there before, people might recognize us. It might be worthwhile stocking up on some of the materials for sails, ropes. I mean, anchors might be a bit heavy, but we'll have decent resale value other places. Easy to get rid of once we're there.
Well, you basically
Let's at least concentrate on things we can carry within the next few hours. But sure, good thinking.
I'd rather
So,
avoid
fabric
avoid
wood.
investing like my money into things it might not sell well.
Helen will basically will head down there, then probably recruit someone's help to help drag all this stuff up to the boat, but basically she'll sink. How much is like this is a legitimate, we're trading someone's stuff and also maybe ferrying some people amount of, like, how much is it going to run her to make this look like a legitimate kind of trading amount?
Well, as you kind of enter these market areas, you can see that Richter is also down and kind of like putting out feelers. You can see he's kind of going up against people, just kind of like chatting. You can hear him just saying, is anyone looking to traverse to the center of Calzaria? Anywhere going beyond there? There is a trade vessel going through. And you see he just begins to kind of like ask around. I'm going to roll a check for him to see how well he does. Okay. He does have decent charisma. You see he begins to like get a few people. In terms of how much you'll need to kind of go across with the look of a commercial vessel. Probably putting in around anywhere between 50, like starting at 50 gold pieces is probably a decent amount anyway, because you can just get a fair few, like just bits of rope and whatnot. Anything above that is pretty good. So yeah, depends how much you want to invest.
Put in like 7-8 platinum.
Shit, okay.
Because that's what,
80.
like 780 gold, yeah,
Yeah.
worth of stuff. Just like, you know, maybe get some slightly nicer stuff. Just like, we have range. This is legit.
Yeah, no problem. Sounds good.
We
if
are
you just
trading boat. We have trading interests.
We are a boat
Don't
with trading
shoot
boat
us.
gear. Please do not arrest us.
While we're at that, I'd like to chime in, but I actually don't know how many gold pieces I have. After the last time we were rewarded, I wrote it in, but it seems that the character sheet didn't keep that. So
Does anyone
Does
remember?
anyone
how
remember
much?
I
what we were
don't.
rewarded
I
last
have
time?
I had a flat 50 platinum and then like 26 gold and 50 copper, but I don't know where that
I'm
came
sorry,
from.
you had a flat 50 platinum?
I
Yeah.
don't entirely remember where this came from. I'll be
I think
We all
that-
got at least
to be
20.
fair, with all
No,
the-
the temple. You got that from the temple. I remember. Okay. Oh
I
boy.
think it was now after we we got awarded from Captain Whimsy or some.
Yeah, we all got quite a lot of money.
Yeah.
they all,
We
also
got
the
like 20
sovereign paid
platinum
us.
from it.
Yeah, you should also
Okay.
have quite a lot of money.
But as well-
I thought I did. Now I know what I do. I also think I wrote down and it deleted it.
Like, I spent a shitload of money.
Yeah, I basically haven't spent any of my money functionally. So
Well, I did. I also immediately got it back, which is another story for another day. I will listen to the session. It's all good. It's all good. I was just confused. 50 sounds like so much. That is 500 gold.
So whatever you end up putting towards this, just write it down in the Tuesday notes, and then we at least have somewhere where it's written down, because
Yep.
we will forget. So however much you guys want to put into this, just bear in mind that if the cargo somehow like sinks or something, or like disappears, then that money also
Somehow.
goes. So there is an investment here that you need to make sure is maintained if you wish to see it come out with dividends.
Cal is going to hold back because he knows not to make large investments into things that does go well for him. So unless specifically prompted to offer money, he's not going to.
Well,
Okay.
the good news is, if we put some leather straps to use and all the ropes we are apparently transporting, we can make thingy sea balloons. So basically, we can attach them to cargo so that it floats.
True, very true. So you don't have to use all the space up on the ship. Very good idea.
No, so that if we sink some cargo, at least we can go fetch it.
Yeah. Everyone overboard, including the cargo. Quick.
Eat it.
Get it out,
Odd.
get it out.
Also, that's the next best thing to lifeboats we are gonna get. Which we will inevitably need.
a rudimentary lifeboats and like flotation devices existed even back in
Yeah,
the
they
day.
do, yeah.
So we do have lifeboats.
Yes,
Yeah, but
there is-
we need a copious amount to account for Kel.
you guys actually haven't been to the ship yet, so you don't actually know what you have.
Right. I'm gonna go and check out the ship. I'm gonna
Okay.
get the ownership certificate that we got.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
Alright.
check that out.
And anyway, I'll just throw another like 40 gold pieces at our cargo.
All right, excellent. Just make a note in Tuesday notes, and we at least know how much is in there. Very good. Okay. As Cal, you head to the ship to see where it's located. It's hidden in the docks. It's amongst 100 other lines of boats that are just kind of like lined up. for a while it takes you like a minute to like, am I on the right number? You're like looking around for indication of where you are. On occasion, you have to like stop someone. Excuse me, do you know where like 122 is? And they're like, and then eventually you find it. It is not a painted boat. It is a wooden ship, which is not the largest, but it's also not the smallest. It is capable of handling. It has cabins for 6 people. These cabins have space for more sleeping arrangements, and it has 3 floors to it. It has the brig underneath, which has the most of the storage space. The second floor is your kind of sleeping areas, your quarters, and as well your kind of like hiding away from the rain and weather. And then the top deck is fairly plain and straightforward. There is no captain's quarters. It seems to be a ship that is just operated as everyone has the same resting spaces. It does have a dinghy that hangs off of the back, and you can see it's probably, in terms of length, maybe 70 foot long from butt to nose, and then the kind of forward part of it stretches out further. There is no real designs on it. So you can see the sails are of the Eberith Dynasty colors, so they are kind of purple and greens. So if you wanted to become slightly more obscure, you'd need to change those out. On the back of the ship, you can see the name which is written for it, and it's called Envoy of Dreams. And that is the ship that you have. It is fully
like that.
equipped. It has all of the ropes, all of the necessary equipment to man the ship, as well as the sleeping arrangements as well. There is just no food, but that is going to be supplied to you by Richter. He will be bringing the food as well as some people to help man the ship who are traveling back and forth. So,
Is there someone that looks like they're working on maintaining the ships?
yes, there is a shipwright that is kind of going back and forth. Are you talking about from who Richter is grabbing?
No. Just in someone who would know what time it would take to, for example, like I said, exchange those sails. Like, I'm just looking for information on how long that would take, how costly that would be, essentially.
Yeah, no problem. Going through all of it, we'll say it's no cost for you guys. You see one person is there. If anything, they probably prefer having these sails since there is a bit more in them. If you could roll a insight check.
Inside.
After dropping off all and like kind of putting down all the sail material and stuff, she'd start moving around stuff in the sleeping cabins to basically make it so that more people can sleep.
Easily done. You can easily fit 2 people per cabin. There is space there. You're just having to add extra kind of bedding and such to accommodate for them, as well as any sort of like slings or hammocks that can be placed. You are able to sleep a fair few people down, especially in the second layer. Cal, you going through kind of swapping out the sails, there is some value in keeping these Eberith Dynasty sails if you wished. They don't seem to be easily kind of acquired. If anything, they are assigned to a boat, and to get rid of them means that you would forego any sort of legislation or paperwork that you had assigned to it. So to get another one, you would need to pay handsomely to acquire. But this is only if you're going to be working underneath the banner of the Eberith Dynasty.
We'll certainly find use for them eventually. Maybe we'll just want to pretend to be working for them or something, and then they'll very much come in handy. So I am going to keep those.
All right. If you are going to keep them, then for new sales, since before it was going to be a straight swap, but knowing now that they are more valuable to keep, it'll probably cost you around 1 gold piece just to get a single set of mast and sails.
Does it come with installment, or does that cost more?
Roll a persuasion check.
Persuasion. This is so small. There it is.
11. You see
Oh.
the goblin who has given them to you. He just looks over. You want me to install them for you?
Yeah, well, this will be my like fourth time on the ship, and it will be my first time really working on that ship. So I don't actually know how to install them.
Okay.
And we are kind of on a time crunch, so if you could, that would be amazing.
Sure. I do need to be elsewhere, but I can do it for you if you pay me.
Sure. How much do you want? Like, how much does it cost? Not how much do
Well,
you want, obviously, that's probably a set.
How much do you have? What do you want to give me? I don't know. It might take me a while. I might be quite quick. Give me a figure. I think Leonie's disconnected.
I lived.
Hello. You live.
I got cut off right as the goblin was about to answer.
No worries. How much you wanna pay me? I don't know how much it's gonna cost.
How about another gold?
Okay.
Okay.
You hand him a gold. Takes him about 10 minutes to set up, and you see he kind of like pockets it. And says, oh, thank you very much.
Sweet.
That's the quickest gold he's ever made.
Kel overpaying workers since 1960.
Yeah, putting the pocket in the people. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Single-handedly keeping this economy alive. All right. So, with all of that
Pure
procured,
stupidity.
exactly, feign ignorance. The ship is ready, prepared, filled. You have Richter, who is now currently going through job roles for everyone on board. You do have a couple of merchants here with you. No one in particular looking to like sell anything that catches your eye. Just people looking to traverse, really, going from the south to the central parts. You see Richter prepares and acknowledges everything. All right, well, we'll be leaving in the next hour, so if you have anything you need to finish off, let me know. And if not, we can just go.
Oh, yeah, of course. I want to say goodbye to Tuko and Cogna. Both.
Okay.
Because we are just ditching them.
Yeah.
Pass on my
Which
regards.
I know it was agreed upon to split ways in Bellevue, but still, you know.
Helen
say
would go with her.
Okay. You leave the ship Envoy of Dreams and you head to kind of the exterior of the stables, where you can see Coraline is currently taking Apple away. You see Apple kind of look towards you, go, you don't speak horse, so you don't know what he's saying.
No.
But he just kind of like walks alongside her, she smiles and continues forward. Meanwhile, kind of stood idly, having kind of prepared the horse, you can see Cognar just talking with Tuko as he seems to be getting prepared for some sort of journey himself. Tuko sees you. Oh, I hear you're leaving. As he like begins to hop and skip towards you. Oh, is this goodbye?
Well, for now. We might run into each other again.
Oh.
You could come with us.
Mm,
You could. It might be dangerous though, so maybe don't.
he kind of thinks about it for a second. Well, you're going on a ship, no?
Yes.
Well, we all know how that worked out last time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. But I'll probably just get in the way.
I mean,
Nah, I
We're
doubt
heading-
that. Your magic is really useful.
Mm,
plus we're heading back up to Zone 1. So
Okay.
who knows where after that? Maybe back here? Be
Mm.
interesting.
So it'd be a bit of an adventure then.
Helen would just nod.
Well, to get to Zone 1, you would need to go to Trasvelar. Hmm. That could be fun. Okay. And you see he's kind of like smiling. Bye, Cogna! As he just kind of like goes with you guys now.
That's enough.
Hearing
Why
that,
would we be going?
you see Cogna look down. Wait, you're going to Trasvelar?
Yar?
Does that make sense? Like Helen's brain, quick math. Does that make sense?
That's the only port of entry that you have. The Shard of Glass Zone 1 is like center of the continent almost. Going through the Eberith Dynasty lands is like 10 times as worse as traversing from east to the center. So going along that road is going to be a breeze in comparison. And Trasvelar is like the closest port. So yeah, it seems to be that's where you're going to be heading.
What the fuck is Trasvelar?
You see Cogna. Do you have room for one more?
Do we have room for one more?
He is a giant.
Can the boat
Possibly.
hold him?
It can hold him, yeah. But
Possibly.
he can't go inside. So he's gonna have to sit outside, and there's no like awnings or like covering. So at night he'll need to like have like a tent or something placed up
Helen
around
would
him.
kind of begin to gently explain this fact.
Okay.
Unfortunately, not the biggest boat. We'll definitely be back here soon. I mean,
Well, no, it was more to get in touch with the priests of Moradin. There's a temple located in Trasvelar, and perhaps they could have helped with the situation in the Howling Mountains. So, but
if you want to write us a letter, we could take it to them. I'm sure we'll be visiting them on our way through.
yeah,
In our company.
I can do that. Sure. If you give me a minute, I'll write out something. And you see he kind of like pulls out a parchment from one of his pockets and begins to write out a letter.
Is it a parchment that's as tall as us?
Yes. But he begins to like, after writing into it a few times, he then begins to bound it, and it's about the same size, probably about half your torso in length. Sorry, it might be a little big. I can make a smaller one.
I
if
can
necessary.
carry it. No, I can carry it.
It's waterproof,
It's
so and it can float. So if it's in the water at all, you can just take it out. All right.
Nice.
Well. Thank you. I don't know who will be running the temple at the moment. It's been a long time. So if you just give it to any high priest that works there, and just let them know, because you've seen it yourself, what happened to the temple. I'm actually, I'm looking to do a path into the mountains again. Ulrin's helped set up some people to look at the destruction, and we're gonna try and put it back together again. So if you could put out word to them that that's in process, then that'll be excellent.
Isn't that like super dangerous?
Absolutely.
Like, why would you do that though?
Well, we know what we're dealing with, and these people. Grora Mask, he's going. A fair few fairly notable people. They're all
Oh.
part of this Collapsicon thing that was going on. So,
Right.
yeah, they seem to have an avid interest in at least coming across what's there. And, well, I did promise them that perhaps I can give them a look inside of the vault that's there and maybe learn a few things or two. So, they're getting something in return. Secrets, if you will. But I think this is all in the better good for Moradin. So, but thank you. And if you could send my goodbyes to Ulrin, just as a final thank you for everything that that you guys and he did. If it weren't for you, I'd still be cursed by that witch. So I really appreciate it, and I hope that someday we meet up again.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we
Helen
hope
would
so
kind
too.
of
I like
reach out a hand to shake his hand.
He gives you a finger.
Thank
you very
Gives you a finger.
Yeah.
And be careful with. And he looks behind you, Helen, at the items that you carry, and he looks at Cal with the items that you carry. There's some things that you have on you that are very bizarre, maybe even dangerous for yourselves to hold. So keep an eye on those things. Not all of the relics that were built and created inside of the temple were necessarily good things. We were people of craft, and we would keep items of bad omen as much as good omens. So, some of them may be tricksy. I don't like how that doll is looking at me.
Yeah, it's very creepy, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not a fan. But again, thank you very much. You see, he kind of like puts on his backpack. He doesn't have a backpack. He just puts on some sort of bag, and he begins to head off and find the group that he's the newly group mate. So yeah, Cognos says his goodbye to Goes like, oh, it's like a new journey, and he's now with you for
Yes.
some fucking reason. Well, Clapsicon's over, so so he's joining you now.
Did you part ways with your friends nicely, or were they super traumatized by the stuff that happened?
No, they loved it. They're going to the next one, but I don't really fancy it. It's kind of losing its charm. I did get a little bit sick afterwards, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you thought my tears were bad, my snot.
No,
Oh, It's
Tuku. Personal boundaries.
personal
You're
boundaries.
pushing. Yeah, you're
Okay.
pushing them.
Okay. I thought we were so close.
Oh, we are close. We just aren't that close.
Okay.
He writes in his book.
Kyle, not so close. Okay.
No. Ah. I'm gonna do it.
I'm having to add a lot of pages for you, Kyle, just so you know. I don't have to write this much for so many people.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, it's unique.
Oh,
He looks towards
okay.
Helen.
I'm gonna interpret.
Not good. Not good things.
Yeah, I'm gonna interpret that as positive.
Yes. Okay, well, yeah, let's see the ship.
And he now joins you. So now, having originally saying goodbye to Tuka, I didn't think he'd be joining you guys at all.
Well, that's your
I
call.
honestly thought that you guys were just going to forget him because that's what it looked like was happening.
Never forget my boy Tuko.
So you return back to the ship. Everything received, ready to go for your journey eastward. You see Richter's at the helm of the position, just kind of looking around. All right, well, if we could let off the sails and we'll head off. Seems like we have a fair few days ahead of us. Just be thankful that we don't have to journey across the Everett Dynasty. It can be a hellscape to go across.
Oh, yeah, it was quite literally.
And luckily, you have me, so... And he gestures up to the sails, and you watch as the wind pushes even harder against them. We should be journeying at a faster pace than normal. So, as the journey begins, you are going to have a fair few days out on sea. So, we will have this be as for you guys, since you are on the ship, another kind of period of downtime for you. There is less downtime to be had, though, because you are having to work. Now, there isn't the staff to man the ship as there was on the previous one that you're on, but you still have moments here and there to kind of have to yourselves. So, I'll ask you guys what you'd like to do during this journey. You have a few days to traverse. We'll go through the kind of downtime activities as they come, and I'll let you know where you are in the journey. So whoever wants to go first with what you get up to, unless you want to have a conversation with each other or plan or anything, by all means, it's up to you.
Helen, Kel, come here. I'm come bringing gifts.
Gifts? I love gifts.
Helen would march over at the sound of gifts.
You hear a mighty, hearty ho ho ho.
Yes, that is how I imagined it.
Very seasonal.
Richter at the helm. Why is it snowing?
Oh.
Well, anyway, as Oren reaches back into a comically large sack.
Has your beard suddenly turned white?
Yes.
There might be a reason for it being white, but
It's the snow.
yes, it's the snow.
And
Yeah, keep
Anyway.
telling yourself that.
anyway, first of all, here are the boots you commissioned, Helen. You know, those with the floating rocks.
Helen would grab them and kind of turn them over, start looking at them.
Best be a bit careful on the ship. Those take you quite far.
As you are holding them in your hand, Anna, you can give a description for them, but as they're there in your hand, you can feel them almost hum slightly, and you get a sense that if you were to like click your heels at a certain like pressure point, that you will just like bang fly off into a direction at almost instant speed.
The boots are made out of leather, but somewhat membrane-like, as if made from something's wing. Dark-colored and somewhat stylized to match your usual appearance. So if you requested certain fashion statements, Oren would have included those.
Very nice. Very nice.
I
You
don't know
see her
why.
Carefully putting them on.
I'm just picturing Edna Mode from The Incredibles. Just like, fabulous, darling, fabulous.
Yes.
Okay.
Now for the stuff you technically did not request. Here. And he draws out a very finely made rapier that is seemingly made out of ice. Not quite transparent, but still crystalline. It has a crossguard that is adorned with a diamond that seemingly holds some kind of pale blue sheen.
She'd kind of take it and just like turn it over very slowly and kind of get a feel for its weight.
I made this out of frost fangs. I noticed you were applying some frost magic to your own rapier.
You can see she's very excited. She immediately starts kind of doing basic forms, like feeling for the weight, and you see her like do one pass and then slightly adjust the way she's holding it and kind of go again and just start like doing like a bunch of different styles and just adjusting how she holds it. You can almost see the cogs like turning in her brain, like getting used to it. And she's just like beaming ear to ear.
Oh,
Thank you. This is very finely crafted. Beautiful. And
thank you. It is infused with an enchantment I recently learned, the Blue Flame. Basically, I managed to reverse the properties. It will absorb flame and heat to empower itself. It has some additional functions, so... Well, then put it near some fire, you will soon realize it.
You
Anyway.
can see there is kind of, as you are practicing this weapon, Helen, there is a streak of mist, like a silvery mist that just kind of echoes behind it with every streak. And you can see as he's demonstrating the blue flame, in the very center where the crystal is, the diamond, there is almost a blue spark of an ember which glows there. And you watch as the lantern lights that are illuminated inside, as you're doing this under the cover of nightfall and kind of going before a nightly routine, you kind of almost gesture over in that direction, and you watch as the flame in that wick just consumes into the central diamond, and you see the diamond itself glow brighter with the flame, a spark now, an almost tangible flame that just hovers in space in the very center of it.
excited. We'll kind of continue practicing with it.
Oh,
She wants
but
to be able to.
be careful. It does have a limit on the amount of energy, and if it is reached, it tends to go a bit overboard on the absorption part of warmth and such. I managed to channel it into the blade, so if you were directed at enemies, it could prove quite devastating.
I'll be careful with it.
Cal just mimicking an explosion behind you, Helen.
Well, as for Cal, I have another few frost fangs, and with those I made this. And he pulls out 4 arrows, tipped with basically the crystalline equivalent of a small snowflake, with one, like the single arm-like edges of the snowflake, one of them pointing forward as a tip.
Ooh. Very pretty.
Yes. These add a bit of coldness to whatever you try to hit. As with the rapier, I haven't quite managed to stabilize the effects. If you choose to overload them, they will have some additional effect. Basically, they will explode in a frozen mist. Though that will destroy the arrow, I advise you not to do that. I can make more.
Okay, got it.
I don't mind. However, you know. And because I know you keep missing and losing your arrows, I made this. And he pulls out a quiver. Made out of leather and adorned with a few small diamond pieces. Less of a full diamond, more like shards. I call this the Quiver of Summoning. Any arrow that is kept in there for 24 hours will become bound to it and can be retrieved. You can also
That
retrieve.
is so cool.
The retrieval takes a minute, but you can do it more quickly, though only every now and then. It consumes more energy that way.
This is amazing. And he immediately takes off his quiver that he has and just refills all the arrows into this new one. And also very carefully puts the 4 special ones in there. And also the far-reaching one that he still has. He's also very carefully putting that in there. And putting it back on his packet, just standing there very excited. Sad that he doesn't have a mirror, but it's just still like, haha, oh, this is so cool. This is amazing. Thank you, Oren. But also, didn't you start working on a cloak or something? I remember you making me stand very still for like 2 hours so that you could take my measurements.
Did you forget the cloak you're wearing currently?
Yeah, I did forget. When the fuck did you give him that? Doesn't matter. Okay. Then
Quite
you
a while
never said
ago.
what it does. Then you never said me what it does. What does it do?
I love how ungrateful he is.
I thought he forgot about it.
Very
I'm
nice,
sorry.
I
I'm
think
so sorry.
I think it was a cloak of resistance +1, but there may have been an additional effect. I don't have it on top of my head right now. I should have it in my notes somewhere. I'm gonna look after the session.
Thank you for the new items, but where's my shit? You're wearing it. Oh, yeah. Of course I am.
No, I straight up forgot that it did. I forgot. Okay, let's pretend Kel didn't say that.
No, he definitely did say it.
No.
Come on, Leonie, you know it's true.
Okay, then he's also gratefully sweating his cloak and just being very happy in general. But he also, as soon as he's like over how happy he is about this, he starts to look slightly guilty, and is just looking down at himself and seems to be thinking about something. I don't have anything to gift you in return.
Oh. Well, I'm not expecting something. I just thought, improve our odds a little, strengthen the group.
Like.
Besides.
Ooh, how about a secret in return?
Oh, very well.
Okay, come along. And he's gonna take him to Braceman, sleeping, I guess. And then he's gonna, as soon as he enters the room, there's this pile of clothes on the bed, which, and he just takes them off. And there's a, I don't know, like, cat-sized, I think it is, cat-sized? Raisin, shrunken, scribbled, something on the bed. And he's like, ta-da!
It's a bit bigger than cat-sized. It's probably about the same size as your torso.
That is bigger. And he's just like, I found this in the forest like 2 weeks ago.
As the clothes are taken off, you just see this like dark purple like blob that is like a skin sack that is just dried up of any moisture. And you can see in the very heart of it, the center, there is also more depth there. And you can see there is like a slight movement, like skin is being pulled up as something wriggles and moves underneath and then goes back down, seemingly adjusting to now the heat being removed from it.
It does not want water. I tried that, so it's probably not a plant, even though it came out of a plant.
To the DM, I think we saw that before when what's his face? The halfling. Yeah.
But then it was still glowing and round.
It was.
Yeah, I'm just asking if I do recognize this in its new form.
You would, yeah. And knowing Cal, it's the same like way that he's been hiding it before. This is it.
Well, I did see this before, but it looks changed. There's something happening to it.
This is new. Well, it's sort of... No, it's just sort of shrunk in a bit and it's got this wrinkles now. And it moves much more frequently, so it might just be like nearing its last phase. I don't actually. I'm very curious, like what's gonna come out of that. I'm super excited.
So you don't know what it is.
Well, I got it of a plant, so I think it's a plant.
Should we perhaps make some kind of simple cage in case it's feral when it hatches? I mean, it looks similar to an egg.
It really does. That's what I've been saying. I've been calling it jelly bean, but ever since it dried up, it looks more like a raisin. But I think I'm gonna stick to jelly bean because it's a cute name.
But so long as we take some precaution about your new pet, I mean, at least in its egg form, it's been docile so far.
Yeah.
Ulrin, if you want to roll a nature check.
Yep, I'd like to. There you go. I'll guidance myself for this one since I have the time.
Oh, that did not help.
Oh my god. You rolled like a god, and now look at you.
How far the mighty
Look
have
at
fallen.
How far from your throne you have fallen. A petty 4 with no 2 at the beginning. Oh my god. Unfortunately, the amorphous blob is just so different to what you know, and seeing it like this after the last time, it's just, how can that happen within a week? It's so strange. It doesn't follow the regular rules of law and order. If it is an egg, if it is hatching, who knows in what state it is at the moment. But what is clear is whatever state it is in currently, it is frail. And if it needs to be dealt with, it probably can be done fairly easily. Just giving you that as like a
Don't
general...
you even suggest that.
just throwing it out there.
Wow.
Yeah, the thought hovers in Oren's mind for a moment,
Yes.
but he lets it pass.
Mm-hmm. He grabs his mace. He's like...
No. Kel seems to be thinking about stuff, and I'm going to toss a coin because I don't know. Even. Okay. Yeah. Kel's just like, yes, this is jelly beans. So. Ta-da!
Oh, hello, Jellybean.
It wriggles.
Oh. It recognizes its name.
It recognizes sound.
Okay, fine.
What? No, I didn't mean it like that. That is just impressive, given its condition.
Yes. And Kel's gonna carefully, like, flush it in again, all the clothes on top of it, very carefully, nesting it essentially.
Do you mind if I look after it every now and again? Nothing personal, but this looks very strange, and
I mean, yeah, if you're gonna, like, help take care of it, sure.
should we perhaps maybe tell Axon? I mean, he knows his way a lot around a lot of strange things.
Yeah, but I don't really trust him, so no.
Well, yeah, he might reincarnate as a bird.
Yeah! Or in general, he might want to use it for some weird experiments or whatever this guy gets up to. I don't know.
Though he did tell me that whatever he's doing his reincarnation thing on has to agree.
Oh, well, I don't think Jellybean can agree to anything quite yet. So.
Well, give it a thought, because, well, evidently we both don't know what we're dealing with. And if you do choose to care for it, best know what you're doing.
I mean, I have been caring for it for like weeks now, so
Nothing
I'm
personal, but
pretty
as
committed
you
to
meant,
this.
nothing personal, but it looks like a raisin, so maybe it could use a pick-me-up.
I mean, I've tried giving it water. I've tried giving it other stuff. It didn't do anything.
Maybe it's one of those symbiotic or parasitic things that feed on nectar and such.
I mean, worth a try. We don't have access to that right now, but once we're on land again, we can try that.
Well, I'll give it some thought. I doubt I'll find anything on the ship that will that will give me any insight on this.
Yeah, probably not. The plant that it came out of did look very weird. Like, I don't think I'd seen plants like that before. Did remind me of something, but like, it was just very red and red.
Red like a flower, or
Yeah, blood, red like blood. Yeah, probably. Yeah, sort of.
well, in any case, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, I figured, with you being all nice and giving us stuff, I should stop keeping secrets from you.
Well, thank you.
That's the only reason. Not because you're friends from a previous cooking.
I mean,
Shut it, Max. This is the most open Cal has ever been.
it is.
We're
making progress.
I'm so touched.
He likes me. He really likes me.
Yeah, Aurel's already
I've
like
told him one of my secrets.
Yeah.
Aurel's already like that uncle you saw like twice. And also a responsible person. So Cal's already not keen on sharing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, like, one of Oren's first thoughts was, how do I destroy it? So, like, Cal has his reasons for not sharing the shit with people.
It does look demonic.
Well, off topic.
Above table. Okay. Whilst that's happening, and Helen has received her items, we're going to focus on Axon momentarily. Axon, what plans do you have for your downtime?
Honestly, I don't have any, because it's like
Okay.
I will just I won't be working on the ship. I recently acquired quite a fancy spell for that purpose, Golden Sin
Okay.
Servant, so I will just cast it, and it will just do all the work for me.
Very good. Okay. Having an extra capable hands as well, because the Unseen Servant, it can pretty much do anything. So being labor is a perfect job for it. You begin to almost expedite the workforce by having this Unseen Servant do many of the tasks that most people don't want to do. And it just helps expedite the travel a bit more.
And by the way, from
yeah.
the side of it, if anyone would like observe what the accent doing, he would just like for 10 minutes like do some fancy like stuff with the hands and maybe some quite evil looking rituals, and then the work which he would look at it at least like just like is done automatically, like someone invisible working there. But the
You will
accent would not-
find
would not
that
tell
a
them
lot of
words.
the people that are like staffing this and being ushered, they stay away from accent because you described it yourself as evil. They're just like, oh, they're gonna not get involved or be anywhere near. But your party members are fine. They've seen it before. As well as Tuco. Tuco's there. He's kind of like, oh, I'm here now. As he's just kind of like pops out of view to just wave at you as you're doing your incantations. But
Come aboard.
Helen, during one of the nights, and what we're going to be doing is, I would like, because it's going to be a period of time that you're on the boat, I'd like each one of you to roll a d20 to see how the weather fares. You all have advantage because you have Richter guiding the ship forward. The lower you roll, the worse the weather's going to be, and perhaps an encounter may be had. But in general, anything above a 10 is going to be decent. So if each one of you could roll d20 at advantage, we'll see how it goes.
Is it a
19.
check? Do we have any bonuses or not?
Just a straight. Fucking hell. No, it's just a straight d20. It's going to be Richter's bonuses, which are separate, so don't worry about that. I just need to know the flat roll. For fuck's sake, an advantage, guys. Okay. Now, Ulrin and Helen, if the two of you could roll a d100, please.
Yippee! Ah, that's too high. That's too high. That's too low.
You rolled 8 with advantage, not advantage. That's 2 4s. You didn't roll an 8.
Oh, you just rolled. Oh, okay. It's 2 4s. Even worse.
Not even an 8.
Whoops.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
6 is the key one to look at this. Fucking hell. We'll get to that next session.
I don't like that.
But for now, Helen, during one of your nights, you get a visit. As you meditate and find yourself resting, you almost see a glow in your chest. And as you wake up, you feel as though you aren't physically here. This is a place of dreams or illusions, and everything kind of echoes on the ship. You see this line of golden light extends from your chest and leads its way outside of the bedroom.
Helen would grab her new sword and follow it out.
You grab for the sword and your fingers pass through it. You turn back, see your sleeping body as you are in this ethereal plane.
Helen would start disregarding walls and just kind of making her way through the space, following the light.
Through the doorway, not even opening it, you just step right through. And as you do, you find the central area here. And as you follow this golden light that reaches out from your chest, you see it goes up the staircase to the top floor, to the main deck. Do you follow, or?
Should follow it.
Okay. You follow up, and as you climb the staircase, push through the hatch, and find yourself on the top floor. You can see Richter guiding the ship forward. The seas are flat, the sky is clear. But for you, as you look up, you can see that tether in your chest reaching up to the skies and seemingly wrap around a figure which is larger than most, almost completely covering the sky as though someone looking down through a fisheye lens, like they are the sky, and you are in a bauble of glass. You see this shadowed figure where you cannot see the features, but you can see golden eyes. You can see a slight chin poke out from underneath with a kind of soft and smooth pearlescent skin, long draped cloth and a hood which covers the eyes and just hovers over the nose slightly to where it is out of view. And you watch as that line of golden light reaches up to them, and a finger, spindly and long, grabs it and holds it between their fingers. You recognize this figure as the same one that has visited you in dreams before, the owner of the book that you have. Hello, dear. I hear on the grapevine that you have found a quite fun new journey ahead of you. Am I right in assuming that demons are involved?
Kind of just nod and do a like slightly overdramatic bow and goes, "We have managed to find ourselves in quite the adventure."
And I assume that your task is to kill these demons, no?
Helena just nod and goes, "To get rid of them, yes. For all
Well,
the evil and damage that they have caused, and, to other ends."
well, my dear, demons are pure chaos. And frankly, killing them or removing them would be such a waste. It took so long for them to gestate and be realized into this world. We wouldn't want to just ruin that. So I have a little suggestion. Pages of my book, they can act as an anchor. Find a way that you are close enough to these demons, and when they are on the very edge of life, I will give you a brief moment in time. In that moment in time, you'll have a choice. This is a very important choice, because it will dictate where you move forward. I can see in your little heart that you are just like me. Chaos is a necessary end. Use this moment and bind demons to my book. Do so, and I can give you what you're looking for, and then some. As well, you will have my ear, my knowledge, I can help you moving forward. I've seen everything. And I need something new to keep it interesting. And this is quite fresh. This is your opportunity, Helen, to make something, to do something that will change everything. The world is in your hands. So think about it. First page of my book is now accessible to you. You may seek me for guidance and any questions you may have. But don't think too long. I don't want to grow restless. And with that thread of light, like a thread, thin as it may be, illuminated in gold between her fingers, she loosens it. And is there anything you'd like to say before you return back to your body?
She just kind of looking at her, pulling away, says, I make no promises, but at least one of them must die. If you've seen much, you'd understand the sentiment.
Just remember, you help spread a little bit of chaos, and I'll help you get all of your dreams. Every single one. And she lets go of this golden light which connects to your chest, and as it does, you find yourself pulled backwards like a weight going down into the sea as you find your body once again. And we will end the session there, as it is about time before we start a new day. The journey ahead is going to be slightly tumultuous, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, thank you very much for joining, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
The fuck was that, bro?